Hi, welcome to a video of mine. Today we're going to talk about helping others. What does it mean? And more importantly, what's your agenda? So why are you helping? What's the real reason you're helping someone? Or you're helping tens, hundreds, thousands, millions of people? I'm giving you a moment to feel. Why is it that you're doing it? And skip that first answer. Go deeper. What's the real reason you're helping? You can pause the video if you want to take some more time, because I'm gonna share my personal experience. So, I hope you took the time now. And here I go. Somewhere around 2012. Yeah, there it is again, that famous date, that famous year. No, it was not December 21st, 2012. No, it was just around 2012. May even have been 2013 or 14. I do not remember, to be honest. But there was a moment when I consciously said, I am coaching because of the extreme or the enormous benefits I got from all the knowledge that was shared with me, amongst others by my mentor, long-term mentor, Harvey. And that I felt that I could not keep all that knowledge, all that wisdom, just for myself. I felt I had to pay forward. I had to share the knowledge. You may have heard the saying, knowledge is power. What a lot of people have been doing is keeping it for themselves. And the whole system with patents, patenting things, registering things, that, hey, this is my idea. You may use, but need to pay me a lot of money to be able to use it. Or making things top secret. This we see a lot in technology. But we even see it in coaching and healing, that some people are saying, you are not allowed to share the knowledge I'm giving you today. Wow. You are not allowed to use this technique that I taught you on more than one person at a time. Wow. You're not allowed to share with anyone what I handed out to you today. Wow, again. And I know, and there are some differences. For example, I do ask people who get access to the page on my website with all the free meditations and even some techniques on meditation and stuff like that, to not just share that link, but share the link that comes before that, the link that requires somebody to enter his email address. It's not a must, but it's a request, because I invested a lot of time in creating that page, in creating that content, and I'm handing it out for free, where the only thing I'm asking for is a possibility to reach the people who are getting access to it, to offer them either more free information or to inspire them to join a workshop. So it's an investment. But it's not like I put in the time, so I will get 100% for sure, I will get money out of it. No. It's, let's say this on the soft side, but there are people who are applying this really hard, and they're willing to go and sue others if they share the knowledge. When it comes to personal development, I believe that it's in everyone's benefit that the knowledge is shared amongst as many people as possible who are ready to receive and process that knowledge and integrate it. I'm not saying that we, the coaches, should do everything for free. That's total bullshit, because we also need to live. We have the right to have a life of abundance. This is why I chose to have different pricing for different areas of the world, depending on the average income of those areas, of those countries. This is why I even have the possibility for people to work for free with me under certain conditions. If they really do not have the financial means to pay, but they're really committed to work on themselves, then I'm making my time available. I'm making myself available to them. And I've done this a few times with people who are really motivated, and it gave me energy. At the same time, there are other people who are simply paying because, yeah, hey, I need to pay the bills as well. I need to buy new clothes. I need to eat. So coming back to the helping. My original coaching when I started was also from the same perspective almost. It was when I myself went to a job coach because I had no idea what to do next with my career, that I got really inspired and really loved what that coach was doing for me. And so I took my own personal experience in management, in HR, in recruitment, to start coaching that way as well. I mean, differently from that coach, because I'm a different person. But then at a certain moment when I had reached a certain level with my personal development, a certain awareness, I decided to like, hey, this I cannot just keep for myself. And so it was a feeling of gratitude, deep gratitude, for having received all that knowledge, all that time and attention from people who taught me a lot of valuable life lessons, that I decided to repay humanity. Because it was humanity who taught me, so it was time for me to repay, or even to take over, as my mentor is not active anymore. And so it's not just out of love that I'm doing it. It's not purely unconditional love. I do it because I feel like I'm in debt. Yeah, that's the truth. And this is changing. This has been changing lately to, if I want a better world, then how can I contribute to a better world? I can point fingers at different people who are doing bad things. But maybe these people are just doing these bad things so that other people will wake up. But if I want a world with, for example, entrepreneurs who are more conscious of the environment, of how they impact the environment, whether it's being the natural environment or the humane environment, then if I have knowledge that they can use to actually do that, then I better share. I better teach. I better make myself available for those who are interested. And interestingly, sometimes it takes 2 years. 2 years after an announcement that, hey, I'm available for this and that and that, if you want to move forward. Sometimes it takes 2 years or even longer for someone to actually say, hey, I would love to. And you're like, huh, what? Where are you coming from? Who are you? How do you know what I'm doing? Well, you posted on that website 2 years ago. I mean, I didn't know it was, I mean, he probably didn't know it was 2 years ago, but I saw like, oh, last time I logged in, oh, that was 2020. Whoa. And that's irrelevant. The fact is that I'm now mentoring somebody / coaching because I make myself available. And it's a young person who is very open to learn new things, to get new perspectives, to see his reality from a different angle. And that was me back in the days. So it's fun. I recognize things. So I work with this person from a point of love. But the love is also connected to the self-love. That I'm so grateful that I had those people teaching me. I know how important it is. So that's why I'm doing it today. So that other people can have those benefits that I had. Or maybe even would call it a luxury. Certain people become doctors because they saw somebody dear to them die from a certain illness. So they decided that nobody else should experience that loss again. So it's that emptiness, that pain within them that motivates them. That's the real reason they're doing what they're doing. Not just unconditional love. Some people become lawyers for this reason, or even judges, or join the police, become a fireman. Some people become a teacher, no matter what level, for similar reasons. Even if it was because they were so inspired by a teacher. If you're one of those people who was inspired by somebody, and so you started doing a similar thing, ask yourself, is it just the inspiration? Or is it the transformation that happened to you? A shift from a point of pain, sadness, or emptiness towards a point of feeling more fulfillment, love, joy, appreciation, self-worth, and see what is your true motivation. This is really important, because if we know this, we become better at what we're doing. We may change the way we're doing what we're doing and become actually more valuable to the others. For example, I stopped doing healings on people. Now I teach people how to do healings on themselves. And that is because I do love to learn new things when it's an area that I'm interested in. So I had some healings done on me, but I benefited mostly from the healings that I did on myself when I learned how to heal myself. Because you can only go so often to somebody to heal you. That person may not be available at a certain hour of the night, or when you're traveling, or that person's traveling. But if you learn yourself how to do things, then you can do them. This doesn't mean you need to learn everything about everything in the world. But I felt that when somebody is doing the healing to himself, that person is more aware of what's happening and needs to dig in and go to the root source, or is more likely to go to the root source, and then you actually start to really resolve something, not just putting a bandage on something or taking an aspirin or a paracetamol to take away the headache. No, you go to the source of the headache and you resolve it. I also decided that I am not going anymore to scream from the rooftops that people need to wake up. Need to wake up to all the lies that have been spread by almost everybody. It's not my job. I can lead by experience, by example. And I will attract other people who are on the same frequency as I am. But I cannot force people into awakening. People will wake up at a certain moment when their comfort zone, which is probably already a hell zone, becomes unbearable. And only then they're willing to actually stand up, look at the situation and change something. As long as people don't reach that point when something becomes unbearable, they will not change, because it's still more comfortable to just sit in the shit than to get into the fresh air. And just look at yourself, at your own life experiences, and look around you and you will see this is everywhere. And yes, some people may need less time and some people need more time before they awaken. But that's not my responsibility. If people want to know something, they can always ask me. If people want help, support, or anything, they can come to me. But it's not my job to go to people and start shaking them up and say, hey, you need to change this. You will have a better life if you change this. No. That's why there's so much money spent on advertising. Somebody once said, advertising is spending a lot of money to convince people to buy something they don't need. I would say advertising is trying to brainwash people in taking something they either don't need or they're not ready yet to take it. Because let's be honest, how often do you see advertisement for bread? Basic bread, not fancy bread, basic bread. You don't. Only if there is an offer that one shop wants to sell a little bit more than the other, or wants the customers to come to that shop because the bread is cheaper. They don't need to advertise in general because they know People will go and buy bread anyway. So why spend money on advertising? And all this fits in the bigger picture, which is the transition from polarity to unity. First within ourselves, by bringing the masculine and the feminine together, by integrating them, by integrating both of them in our doing. And then this will reflect on our interaction with others, and we'll start to create more unity between people, and more people will unite. And it's not about everyone having the same opinion, believing the same truths. It's about people ceasing to fight each other because they have different beliefs, not just religious, but political, social. When we can see that we are all one, when you can feel it, we'll stop judging. We'll just accept people for being unique. Many religious people are judging other people for being gay or being part of another religion. That's polarity, that's division, that's not unity. Being different doesn't make you bad. It's just your view on society is different from their view. And who the fuck are you to say that your view is the only right one and theirs is wrong? This applies to everyone, to politicians, to anyone. Even within your family. Even in your relationship, in your friendships, at work. Look for what brings you together. And see your differences as unique viewpoints. And you may see what those may bring to the table, those different perspectives. I will stop here for now. I really hope you picked up something valuable out of this video, that you did, or you will at least now take a moment to feel, why is it that you're doing what you're doing? Why is it that you're helping that person or those people that you're helping to go inwards, to find the root source? Heal the wound, and you will see that you may not stop doing the great work you're doing, but you may do it slightly differently, or upgrade, or be even of more value, or do it with more love and less judgment. Maybe you will have less frustration about those people who are actually not making the changes that you're teaching them. I'm talking about change, I've mentioned this already in a previous video. Sometimes your job is just to plant a seed. And then it takes time for that seed to start to grow. Realizing this helped me to let go of frustration, because one of my gifts is to see the potential of people. So I start sharing with them, and then I'm like, why are you not taking that step? Why are you still here? Why are you doing these things? But yeah, they're not yet at that potential. They haven't reached it yet. Yeah, but I just shared with you what you can do. Yeah, but they're not ready to do that yet, to integrate that yet. They have heard it, they've seen, maybe they even have understood it. But there may be still some pieces missing within them to grow, to make the change. Because when a seed's drops on the ground. Just doesn't only need to be on the ground or have dropped from the tree. No, it needs to make contact with the soil. There needs to be the right temperature, the right amount of light, humidity / water. Maybe it even needs to be covered up first to be protected so it can sprout. There's so many things needed before it can grow. So it may take weeks, months, sometimes years before. And even then, some seeds will never sprout, some seeds will never become a full tree. It's not up to us to decide who will and who will not. We're just here to share with those who are willing to receive. And that's it. And what they do with it, that's not our business. That's why it's important to get paid for what you're doing, because the energy exchange has been there, so your job is finished. You gave, you got paid, and what they do with it is up to them. I wish you a beautiful day, and see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, and share.